Brass and Rick are going at it. In the comments, but yeah, I did that, and then I got my nails done, but they quickly fell off, so I'm gonna go and get them redone before I go to Tennessee. I'm supposed to go to Tennessee for a trip on Saturday, which is why I told you I couldn't do the
Yeah.
Talk Murder to Me this Saturday, because I'm going to Tennessee and I'll be doing that long drive and then vacationing for a few days. So
Yeah, that's completely fine. Like, for my birthday episode, I'm doing one of my favorite cases. It's one that freaks me out to no end because frogging freaks me out.
Frogging freaks you
Yes, and
out?
it's with a PH, not an F.
So like fat?
No, well, I guess technically, but yeah, it's PHROGGING, frogging. And it's where people like live in somebody's house without their knowledge.
Oh, I've heard of that multiple times.
Yeah, it freaks me out to no end. And I told Daniel, I said, I am very, very happy that the walls for our house are very thin. Like, Slender Man couldn't even live in the walls of our house.
Well, I remember what was. I remember there was this one time I heard on the news where about this guy apparently had been living underneath the floorboards, like he'd been living underneath the house of this old woman for like a year or two.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the one that I'm doing, like, shut up.
And then, besides, I mean, you've got your Slender Man house, which is so funny, or Slender Less Man house.
Yeah,
And
he couldn't even fit in here, so it's fine.
yeah,
But Catherine
you
does
know,
think that there's a raccoon living up under the porch now.
yeah. You know what's the
Oh god.
you know what's the bad thing about that case of the old lady and the man that lived under her house?
What?
That was the closest she's gotten to have a visitor in years.
That is terrible. Like, that's really sad. You're giggling at this, and I mean, there's that dark part of me that finds it kind of funny, but oh my god, like, just this lonely old lady, and she never knew that she actually did have a visitor there all the time.
Okay. Okay, I just want to say Rick thinks he's funny because we've started having like dates, like movie dates, so that we can actually like spend time together and go on dates or whatever without having to meet in the middle or whatever because we live so far
Yeah,
away.
Daniel, by the way,
Well,
told me the other night, he was like, see, she watches Princess Bride with him, and I was like, I won't do it. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Mhm.
that's actually hilarious. But yeah, so we watched The Princess Bride, and he wants me to watch Star Trek with him, and I'm like, that's fine, whatever, I'll watch. I'll give it a try for your sake because I want to be, getting into what you're interested in. Well, I'm then posted on Twitter that I wanted to watch a cheesy like romantic show as part of like what I want to watch because I think he said like we would go back and forth like every
Yeah.
other week.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
picks
every other
something,
week.
then you pick something, then, you trade off.
Yeah. And so I said I wanted to watch a cheesy romantic show and I can't decide which one I want to do. And so somebody said you could watch Star Trek the animated series and I'm like, "No." And Rick goes, "Oh, you will. That's after TOS, which I don't know what TOS is, but
Terms of service.
well, I mean, I thought that's what it was, but it could be something else."
I said, I have
And
no
he
idea,
thinks
but
it's funny.
every now and then I'll sit with Daniel and like watch his car shows, and he gets really into him, and he starts talking, and he's all enthusiastic, and he looks at me, and there's just this blank look on my face. He's like, "You have no idea what I just said, do you?" I'm like, "Not a clue."
So he had to explain it to you?
Yeah, he does that a lot. But Catherine is like starting to get really into it because apparently they want to find something since she's turning 15 to kind of fix up together.
That's cute.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get to talking, and I'm sitting here like, odd man out. I'm like, y'all are speaking Greek right now. Like, I got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling her to give me her username so I can find her.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Oops.
Oh, Star Trek the original series is what he said TOS stands for. Yeah,
Okay.
that
I producing tonight.
freaking nerd.
Well, he's always producing, but I guess that's why he's not speaking tonight.
Yeah.
No, he's cooking and he's watching
Oh,
over a crazy puppy. So
oh yeah.
I call her our baby because she's so cute.
I was about to say that puppy is the sweetest thing I have ever seen, and Daniel keeps telling me no.
Her name is Roxanne, but I call her Roxy. She's a Chihuahua wiener dog,
Aw.
and she's so cute.
You got like the two most
And of course,
naturally aggressive breeds and put them together. That thing is going to
yes,
be a demon, and she's going to be adorable,
it's
so you're going to love it.
it's getting him used to dealing with me because you take two insane people, you put them together, and then you hit me, and then it's like
I
I'm
don't know
also
if he can put the puppy on the fridge. Like that might be borderline animal abuse there. I'm not entirely sure.
it's spousal abuse to put me on the fridge.
Because you can get down, like it might hurt a little bit, but you can do it.
Is it sort of like a Brad Williams thing?
Yes. Oh my god, I love
Oh
that guy.
God.
I mean, what's funny is that's the only way that Zelda could be in a relationship with a guy who she's taller than.
Yeah, that's actually.
Oh my God. Y'all are being brutal. Damn.
I remember because Daniel and the thing with midgets and everything. He was giddy when he found the stand-up specials and everything by that Brad guy. Like
Yeah,
giddy, like you should have heard him giggling like a boy. Like it was weird.
yeah,
He has a fascination with midgets, and I'm here for it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually will come into the living room sometimes if he's watching TV, and sometimes every now and then there's midget wrestling on, and I'm like, but why? He's like, well, they're midgets, and they're like throwing each other around. He was like, it's hilarious.
And what's like, I mean, and just remember, Zelda, you get shorter as you age. So by the time you're 50 or 60, you'll be a midget officially.
That's very true. I mean, yeah, both my grandmothers shrunk down as they aged. I
Hmm.
think I'll be okay though, because I'm already 5'7", and that's kind of where I topped out. So
Ah, I'm 5'11". My my I sort of got in the between point of my dad and my mom. My my mom was 5'4" and my dad's 6'2".
I say Daniel's about 6'1", 6'2". My mom and dad, they were the opposite. Like my dad was a little bit taller than me, so probably 5'10", 5'11", somewhere in there. And my mom was actually slightly taller. I think she topped out at about 5'11", or right at maybe 6 feet. But she
Mhm.
has, now that she's
I,
aged, shrunk down.
I thought you said for a second tapped out. I was like, that's a little dark, but okay. Like,
Uh,
jeez.
so how is the round of dealing with Twitter trolls going for you guys this week?
Well, you saw that one that now thinks The Handmaid's Tale is happening, and that apparently I'm a Russian. So
Ah,
Oh, and
so
then the other guy that the guy that thought he was an alpha male. Um, you know, all females are
oh
like
my
crazy or
god,
weak.
yeah. It said women in general deserve society's disdain, and I'm like, what? Even your wife? Because he claimed to be married.
I
I
mean,
was like, somebody needs to do a welfare check, on this lady, real quick.
well, I mean, to be fair, it could be his wife that's led him to that conclusion.
I
he,
mean, okay,
he
that's
hates his
actually
wife so much. He
Yeah,
hates his wife
a pretty
so
fair
much. He's
point.
like,
yeah. His, his wife is so crazy to him that he's developed a hatred for all women in general.
Well, that's what I asked him. I was like, "Did you get dumped or something, or did mommy love you too much, or just not enough?" Like, I was like, "What happened? Who hurt you?" Because I mean, this came from somewhere. This stems from something.
And
Alpha males always like they frustrate me, but they're hilarious because they
Well,
think they're so
I was about to say
badass, and it's like you're really not.
first off, they're not true alphas. An alpha doesn't have to go
Yeah,
around telling everybody that he's an alpha.
exactly. And I posted about that on my Twitter feed. Like you don't have to, post that. But hello, Farkle Darkle.
is that sort of
Wait,
Hey,
I gotta
there
make her
she
see
is. Hi, babe.
Mhm.
She got mad saying I was flirting with her for calling her babe. So I'm not saying Farkle for the entire time that she's going to be here. So I'm just going with babe.
you're a secret either lesbian or bisexual.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, like, I don't know.
well, to be quite frank, pretty much all women are these days.
I don't know.
Yeah, all women are like we want we want both.
Yeah,
I
'cause I
don't think
mean,
I've ever had that kind of attraction. Like, yes, I will find other women very, very attractive, very sexy. Like, I mean, Scarlett Johansson, come on.
yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, I can
But it's not
acknowledge
like
that's a sexy woman.
yeah, but
I mean,
you're like, oh, you're very pretty kind of thing. You're not like I'm actually attracted to them kind of thing. I
But
understand
it,
the difference
it would
there.
be one of those things like I could go out on a friend date with one of these, but it ain't gonna go anywhere because I just don't think I can go down there.
I
literally
invited
or figuratively.
Farkle to eat, so
Like, I guess literally and figuratively. I mean, I just I have no interest. Like I have one, but I just
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, in my experience, I probably, I mean, it could just be me, but the number of straight women the number of bi or lesbian women I know exceeds the number of straight women I know.
I think by these days, well, especially as I was growing up, like just kind of the older millennial generation started to be that generation that was like, well, I don't know if I like boys or girls, so I'm just gonna like both.
Yeah. Because remember, you got to meet in the middle. The
I mean,
middle.
I always just say, like, look, there's no such thing as like, what is it, pansexual that's attracted to anybody regardless of gender. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you're just bisexual with more steps.
Yeah.
it's it's actually an attraction to silverware and cookery.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen some stunning pots and pans and everything while I like surf around online because I'm a baker. I cook, like that's what I do, and there's some really nice stuff out there. So I can kind of see that.
Okay, so apparently my aunt is now following me. Let me see
Are you?
followers.
Would you consider yourself a master at it, Laura?
No, no, not yet. But that show on Netflix nailed it. Oh, I could win that in a heartbeat. Like I
Oh,
do very well at that show. Catherine wants a Cartman cake for her birthday next month, and she wants me to make
South
it.
Park.
Yeah, she wants me to make it, so that's going to be really freaking fun.
Do you watch South Park?
Yeah, thanks to
Isn't she like 15?
about to be. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my! I mean, I'm not judging you. I'm just shocked because my parents like
Oh no,
even
we
Family
found
Guy
out that
growing
she
up.
was
I couldn't
watching
watch.
this with Bio Dad back when she was still seeing him. So
Yeah,
that kind of tracks.
I'm trying to find my followers so that I can. Oh, I think I clicked following. Let me see. Oh, boo boo, where are you? Okay, hold on. Let's just go. It's not.
So in all this time we've been talking, she's still struggling to get this up and going.
Yes, it's kind of hilarious.
yeah.
Wait, followers. Let me see. Oh, there it is. There it is. Follow back. Okay,
I
okay.
say I
I've got
definitely
her. I've got
want
her.
her to like join
I'm following
in.
her. She's made her account.
Are you going to hold her hand through it, Zelda?
I'm working on doing so. She's like a child that's about to stumble on her face, and I'm like trying to drag her by the arm through the store.
The way I imagine it is like, and Rick probably would know what I'm talking about. Like when your kids are really young and like they're learning how to walk, and then you put shoes on them for the first time, and now they're trying to walk in shoes. That's
Yeah,
always fun to watch. I mean, it's almost like cats
uh,
in socks.
yeah, and yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is about adults is that it you end up the funny thing about a life is that you end up going through a cycle. You're born into this world, take go taking a shit in your pants and not knowing anything. You leave this world not knowing anything and shitting in your pants.
I don't know. I want to go out naked and screaming the way I came in. So
Ah,
possibly covered in blood. I'm not
Lord,
going to rule that option out.
me, I love how my image of how I want to pass away is like, I want to, go peacefully in my sleep. Laura's like, no, I want to go naked and screaming.
See, either that or I want my remains spread around Disney World, but I don't want to be cremated.
you know they. Oh,
It
oh,
clicked.
I, I had to think about that for a
Let me
second.
see if
'Cause-
I can invite her. Let me see if I can invite her to the spaces. slowly,
well,
slowly
remember,
dying on the
well,
inside.
This is a great point for an aunt to jump in, by the way.
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, there she is. There she is. Hey, boo. Add you as a speaker. You've got to click OK, and then you can speak, say whatever you want to.
Hello, aunt.
hello.
Probably gonna take her 10 minutes to figure out how to.
That's be a little purple button if she's on her phone, like down there where like her microphone and everything
Yeah,
is.
she's on her phone.
Okay, yeah, she should be able to see kind of
This
towards the
is
bottom the purple buttons.
yeah,
Well, they're purple
yeah.
on my phone, not purple on everybody's.
It's I'm clicking invite to speak for her, and I don't think she's accepted it yet.
Yeah, I'm still showing her as a
But
list.
yeah, so to introduce, she's gonna stab me. My aunt's gonna stab me. Yeah, probably. So Boo, to introduce everybody, this is Laura, my best friend that I've told you about, the one that's like, really silly and fun and like so cool.
Oh, I'm bat
It's always
crap crazy.
out.
Don't let her lie.
This is also Brass. The one next to her is Brass. He's very sarcastic, very like dad joke, silly type of person. Then of course Rick. You've heard from him. He's Rick. And then there's a couple of other people that have joined that are like
Yeah, the one with the
friends or
heart.
followers.
The one with the heart is my most recent troll. That's Babe. She's here to tell everybody like how I'm a comrade or something. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, Laura gets trolls, and what trolls are, just to explain, because Boo's new to this part of the internet.
Oh,
Trolls are like people that basically like to mess with you and to get under your skin and get a reaction out of you. That's exactly what trolls are. So,
and I'm
just
kind
to
of an expert
if I
dealing with them at this point. So
if she's
well,
not
I mean, Zelda's, Zelda's used to dealing with me. I'm her troll pretty
I
much.
say, but you're like a good troll. Like you're not the one that like lives under the bridge and
Oh no, I've upgraded since then.
what's funny, I'm gonna tell this, and Boo's definitely gonna stab me for this, but Boo's actually shorter than I am.
no way.
That's
She
cool.
she is four. She says I'm five above five, or I'm like 5 foot at least, but she's either 4'9" or 4'11", something like that. She's like shorter
Oh
than
my
I
god,
am.
you're gonna have
I think I'm
company up on the
4'11", but
fridge. You
she
won't
says
be
I'm not.
alone.
No, the fridge is my special place. Don't worry about it.
She'll have to get her own fridge.
She's Yeah, she'll have to get her own fridge. The special ant fridge. Why is she not okay, hold on. Trying to figure out how to get her to speak because she's not I don't think hold on. Can you speak?
There's no computer or something.
Yeah, I just texted her and asked her if she's able to speak.
Yeah, I'm still
Ah,
showing her as a listener on this end. She'll have to accept the invite and then know how to unmute her
Yeah, I don't
microphone.
think she.
Because
I'm trying to figure out like how to her to accept it. That's why I said, "Can you speak?" Because if she can't, then I can keep inviting her or something. She may
yeah, I
not
think
want
when
to.
you
I don't
first
know.
like accept an invite to speak, it automatically mutes your microphone until you're ready to talk. So you have to actually do that, and then
Oh yeah, she has to unmute. She may have to unmute her mic or something,
I'm still showing her
which
a
is like
listener on this end.
yeah. That's I mean that's I mean it's showing that she's a listener on my end, but I didn't know if maybe like I'm trying to make sure.
If she can accept the invite
Boo
to
said
be a
she's
speaker,
lost.
it'll show her as a speaker. So
yeah.
Okay. Boo is gonna have to. You're gonna. Can you walk her through how to get to being a speaker because she said she's lost. She just texted me.
but say, does she have the actual show page pulled up? Can she see all the icons for all of us, like our profile picture? See all that?
Yeah. Hold on.
Hello.
I'm messaging her through text so that she can figure out. Yeah, trying to guide her through.
Because if she can
Rick
see
is
all of
tech
our
savvy.
icons, all of our profile pictures and everything, and kind of see who's talking, like all that kind of stuff, then down towards the bottom, underneath like all our pictures, you got all those purple
Yeah.
buttons, like your mic. I mean, you've got other stuff, the little purple pill, which I call it, for the comments. But then there should be a button kind of above that, but still below the profile pictures. She should be able to see something like, you've been invited to speak or something, and she can tap that purple button.
Yeah.
Let me see. All right, I've invited her to speak, so we'll see how it goes. Because she said, I can hear you. She said, I just can't speak. And I said, okay, I'm going to send you a request.
Yeah, just kind of look below all of our pictures and like kind of above the microphone button where it would be. On my iPhone, it's the bottom left.
She has an Android, but I think it's the same
I was about to
way.
say, I have no idea how the setup is on an Android, so I'm only looking at my phone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Brass.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cool.
You're good.
All right. Cool.
And for like
Right.
Sofa King and Redacted and everything, if y'all want to speak, like just request or we'll send you an invite. Anybody can speak. So
Yeah, this is everybody can speak. It's just trying to guide my aunt right.
yeah, I mean, all we ask, which
I'm
we try to kind of keep it a little bit steady. So instead of people talking all over each other, there are actually options where you can like raise your hand to speak and do all that. But we try to kind of keep it tidy. It doesn't always work because this is chaos. So
yes, it is
Yeah.
total fucking chaos for a reason.
yeah.
Yeah. I was just remembering like a funny tweet that I did where basically one of my I forget the context of the joke of what it came from, but one of my friends on here named Night Shift, he had texted someone, like he had tweeted someone about, I don't know, they said a guy, like I think it was like a guy that's having like negative experiences with pornography or
Yeah.
something. And he said, "Don't let porn ruin your perspective of women." And I said, "Yeah, let women do that
Hey,
themselves."
nowadays they're freaking good at it. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think everybody's kind of gone crazy. I don't think that's specific to men or women. So, or whatever
that's
gender
true.
you might think you are that's in between those two.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
definitely.
this is what it looks like. Let me send this picture to her, redacted of what it looks like on Android. Save photo, and then this is what it should look like. All right,
Do you know what language? Do you know what language gay Jews speak?
Gay
what?
Jews.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Hebrew.
Which one?
Hebrews.
Oh,
He,
come on.
oh, oh my God,
I always laugh
you.
at these jokes, but I know I'm going to hell for it.
That's hey. I mean, I have to drag as many of you guys with me.
No, I've
Listen.
always been really
I
big
I
dark
I do not condone such things. I am an innocent angel. That's what we're gonna say while my
I,
aunt's here. I'm an innocent angel.
yeah,
I don't believe you.
yeah,
Oh my God, she's saying it won't let me turn it on. I'm like, you gotta click the mic.
I say I'm still showing her as a listener though.
I
yeah.
know, but I've invited her to speak, and I don't think she's clicked
Yeah, you have to
the
accept the
accept
invite to
button.
speak too if one of us,
Yeah, you have to accept the invite to speak.
and that'll be the button slightly above the microphone if the layout is the same.
Slowly but surely, I'm going insane. But I love her. It's fun. I joke, but I do love her, and I think she's great. And she's like my second mom. She pretty much raised me like for years.
I need to
Mhm.
like text my Aunt Pam and see if she'll come in because oh my God, y'all will kind of figure out where I get it from. Like it ain't just my mama; it's all my aunts and uncles too. So
Where's Daniel right now? Because I need to hear some of his dad jokes, some of his well, this dad joke, and then he's like, well, that's funny because
he's not even home from work yet. It's like 5:15. I don't even know where he's at right now. I'm about to look at Life 360 and see if I can figure it out. But he has had a rough
yeah,
day out in this heat, so I don't know if he's going to be love
oof,
joining us tonight.
oof, yeah, I completely understand. That sucks, man.
So go
Yeah.
ahead. You got your hand up.
Who is it that we're trying to get up to speak?
Her aunt,
That would be
Boo Boo.
Boo. Yeah, Boo. She's on an Android, but she's like having a hard time right now, and I'm trying to guide her, but like I don't know how else to guide her.
Well, in the purple pill, I put a screenshot of what the chat looks like on an Android, and
Yeah, she said she sees that, but she's trying to figure out like how to just click the mic boo where it says request, and then I'll accept it. So click the mic where it says request, and then I'll accept it, or
well,
Laura will accept it. One of
it's
the two of us.
it doesn't actually say request. It's just it's just a icon of a microphone. There's no request.
Yes, where it says the microphone, click that, and then Laura or I will allow you to speak, and you can say whatever. This is as it's called total fucking chaos. You say whatever, and you make each other laugh and that kind of thing. But I'm trying to get her.
I
Let
still
me see.
wish she would talk because
Well,
I think she can probably tell by my accent that Russian is way off the mark.
Yeah.
and while
Yeah.
and while we wait for Boo to get up here, here's a dad joke. What has five toes and is not your foot?
5 toes and is not your foot. I'm
What?
gonna guess like a serial killer, but that's just where my brain goes automatically.
That's always where your brain goes.
Like I may or may not have some in a jar somewhere. So,
My foot.
oh
Oh my god.
God,
See, that's funny because.
I can't smack him like I can do with Daniel.
Yeah, you you remember that? I remember. I think I posted it in the secular pro life, not the secular, the Albany
Oh
group.
yeah, on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I posted like Lila Rose had like this video with a thumbnail on it, and I made like a comment of like I retweeted it, and the thumbnail had her like in the middle, and it said, "Where have all the good men gone?" And I replied back to it with all the good women.
Yeah, but you have kind of a thing about women too, so.
He has a thing about women. This is, and now I'm curious as to what that means.
I mean, well, I don't know. Would you be considered a men's rights activist? Or,
Yeah,
okay. I didn't know if, like, you associated, like, kind of with that label or anything, so I didn't want to just say he
yeah,
is one of these, but. Now, I mean,
yeah.
I do get it. I mean, I have criticisms for just about everybody. Gender doesn't factor into it for me.
Well, what's funny about me is like, people generally see only one side of it, where, but if when people look at like the full scope of what I actually do, I'm actually pretty even-handed. I criticize men a lot because I think a lot of the behavior that I tell with women, it's a lot of it comes down to men enabling it and rewarding
Either
it.
that or the women just reacting to their behavior too. So,
Yeah. So I mean, but so it's not like I'm not hard on
yeah.
men. I
I don't
think
think that's necessarily like a new thing. I think men and women, we've always had these issues with each other from like the dawn of time. I mean, women,
yeah. Oh wait.
we figured out, we chose where we wanted to eat one time and doomed humanity. So,
I've seen that Christian meme. There's a Christian meme that's like women are so indecisive about where they want to eat because they realize that like
the first time they did,
they realize they screwed over humanity once.
yeah. That's why we don't know where we want to eat because we don't want to screw up again.
I think Sofa wants to speak again.
Who wants to speak?
Sofa, if you're there, did you have your hand up? I can't, I don't see anybody have the hand up.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
No, no, I did not have my hand up again.
Oh, I thought on my end it showed your hand up.
I say I love Greg. I never see him in one of our spaces, so I'm actually kind of excited.
Sweet.
He's here. He looks like a very I don't know intellectual dude. So I don't know why he decided to join Total fucking Chaos.
Hey, everybody needs to slum it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I'm very intellectual.
Exactly.
You got me.
He looks like one of these dudes that has like thousands of followers. Hold on. Let me see
I
it. Let me
know,
see if
like
I
he's
can figure
figuring
out.
it out. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got
Another funny.
67,000 followers. That yeah, you look like you'd have thousands of followers.
no, Greg is
Yeah.
awesome. Like if
Thank
y'all
you.
don't follow him, y'all need to because just the very simple way that he calls out the left. I mean, you can't get any better than that, really.
Yeah.
I don't even understand why I have 67,000 followers. Like all I do is log in to laugh at retards and then I log out.
I mean, that's all of us. If you're not laughing at retards on the site, what are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, 16,000 for me was a huge deal because I was like, why did this many people want to listen to me?
Because you're well, I mean, there's like the attractive woman thing.
Well,
There,
Ooh.
I'm not gonna
there's,
toot my own horn, but toot toot.
there.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel has
I
ruined
I'm
me.
not gonna toot my own
Always
horn, but
telling me.
toot toot.
Daniel was always telling me how hot and sexy I am, so I finally started listening. So toot toot.
there.
I think that's what it is.
So I just recently, in like 4 days ago, got my blue check, and prior to me getting my blue check, I was getting 2 or 3 followers a day,
Yeah,
and then I got my blue check, and I don't, I block bots that follow me, and I'm very discerning over my followers because I don't want to be one of those buttholes that if you respond to one of my posts, all of a sudden you get a bunch of porn in
yeah,
your,
exactly.
but I got my blue check, and I'm getting over 100 followers a day now, and I don't even know how.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot per day too, and I even get some people in my DMs like, "You don't have a follow back policy." I'm like, "No, because I don't know you. Like, if you track
Yeah.
Yeah,
and everything,
I
it's
can't.
fine." But
I honestly cannot stand that. Like when people are like, "Oh, I followed you, so you should follow me back." It's like that's the surest way to like get on my nerves because when I first started Twitter, that's all I would get is like, if you follow me, I'll follow you back, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm not playing a numbers game. I'm playing a game of I like to make fun of retards, and then somehow 3,000 people have decided that's great or whatever. So
well, I think
Well,
that
Yeah.
there is kind of a market and everything for the conservative voices too, because I mean, personally, and obviously I'm biased, but we're kind of the voice of reason, where the inmates are running the asylum
yes,
now, and we're like, okay, we got to get a handle on this. Like, these people need to be like toned down.
well,
yeah, exactly.
what I do when I get a follow that I see, because there's tons of follows that I'm not seeing, but when I get a follow that I see, I will go to your profile, I'll look your bio, and I will also look at your posts and your replies
Yeah,
to make
absolutely.
sure, okay, it jives with, if you're posting people, if you're reposting people that are posting porn, okay, insta block.
Yep.
But there's other people that they want to follow me, but they're all crypto, or they're all, I'm not a religious person. So if everything that you are posting in a multiple screen scroll is all just, Bible
Horrible.
verses, I will follow you back, but I will put you on mute.
Right.
Yeah.
But the
I mean,
uh,
you should see what I do. What Whenever someone like I'll sometimes troll one of my Christian friends where they'll post a Bible verse, and what I'll end up doing is I'll end up going through some of my collection of Thomas Paine work, and I'll just quote that with the paragraph and everything.
Man, I've had to get on you sometimes about stuff that you'll post on one of my things. I'm like, this is not the place right now.
yeah, I've
Well, I
I've
mean,
done that.
it might,
I've done that not necessarily to
yeah.
Brass, but I have a friend who I call SD, and he'll like post. He'll kind of tease me, but sometimes I'm like, okay, that's not the place for it. Like if I'm talking about my depression and stuff, and you're like, ho ho ho, nobody cares. I'm like, that's not the time.
I mean, sometimes what I'll do is even during those times, what I'll sometimes do is I'll make the joke or whatever, but I'll put underneath wish you well, for real and stuff like that.
I mean, that's
I'll make sure to
acceptable, but
clarify
like,
it. Just,
Yeah, I mean,
go
you even
ahead.
did that
Sorry.
with my post about Daniel earlier, because he's out working in this heat, and it's rough on him, especially after COVID and everything. But
yeah,
oh,
yeah. I mean,
and don't get me wrong.
that's sort
Don't get me wrong. I'm perfectly fine with a biblical quote here and there, but if every single one of your posts is a Bible quote, that I will follow you back, but I'm going to mute you because I'm not a religious person. My entire family was excommunicated back in 1928.
really,
The- yeah, oh yeah, and we want nothing to do uh, with the Bible or anything like that. And I'm conservative as all get out,
would
but
that be
the
more of a problem with like a specific church or something rather than the Bible and God Himself?
Uh, yeah, I mean, as you look into it, I mean, it was the Pittsburgh Archdiocese that cast us out. They threw the cane down the aisle 3 times and everything, and they excommunicated my grandfather and all his progeny.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go the Tommy Boy route and go, what'd you do?
He was an altar boy. He was 16 years old. He was an altar boy, and he walked in on a priest doing something very inappropriate with a 10-year-old altar boy, and
Oh,
beat the shit out of the priest and put him in the hospital.
well, good for him then.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, he deserves a medal for that one.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I know that's what a reasonable person would do.
I mean, I don't care, religious or not. There's no justification. There's no defense for that.
I
Yeah,
know.
there's no.
Well, unfortunately, today's pope would back the priest and not my grandfather.
The last few popes that I've seen, and I'm not a Catholic whatsoever. I have my issues with Catholicism, but the last few popes that I've seen, I'm like, this is kind of going downhill right now.
Well,
Well,
that's because
you know what's really funny, really ironic, is my grandfather, who was the one who specifically got excommunicated, was a second cousin to Pope John Paul II, who is now a saint.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
so
I was like,
the reason
yeah,
you're seeing the Catholic Church going in the direction it's going is because it's literally dying. Like the amount of
It's really
parishioners they
embarrassing
have
as
is going
Catholic to
down, and so they're
as a
adapting to
Catholic
the
to
new
be. It's
environment.
really embarrassing. Some of the best, you know, and like I have nothing against. I like people. That's something I disagree with vehemently. Is the notion that like if you're a Protestant, unless you're part of the Catholic Church, you're gonna go to hell. Lord, I don't agree with that. You know, I have you know I there I have I have disagreements with the Catholic Church, but I'm not like I my thing with the Catholic Church is I am drawn to it because it has very physical elements as well as, the spiritual side of things, but I'm not one of these Catholics that's like, "Oh, you're not Catholic, well you're going to go to hell or you're this or you're that." I mean, everybody as
yeah.
long as Jesus is at the center of your faith, you're good.
I
So,
mean, that's all that there is for a Christian. That's all the requirement is. And that's, I tell people all the time, I was baptized a Methodist when I was about 13 years old. I mean, obviously, I was christened as a baby and everything, but I mean, we even took confirmation classes. My brother and I did. Like, the church would pick us up after school, we'd go straight to the church, and then mom or dad would pick us up from there after confirmation classes. But yeah, I was baptized a Methodist at about 13, but I've, and while we do go, there's a very specific church that we go to, but because it is very specific for our area, I'm not going to name the denomination, but I've always considered myself ever since then just a member in good standing of the church of nothing in particular. Like, I'm non-denominational. Like, it's the Bible,
yeah.
it's Jesus. That's it. That's all there is to it.
That's how my family
What
is they're very non-denominational, and I respect that, and that's why I say like Protestantism, it's fine as long as Jesus Christ is the only one that can save you. And so this notion that like, oh well, you're not Catholic, you're not, Methodist, you're not what, it's like, well, if God is the center of it, then why can't you be saved? Because if you're telling me that, oh, you have to be Catholic and be saved, then, in order to be saved, then you're saying that the Catholic Church is what can save you, and that it can't. Christ can.
Well, that's
You
one of
know.
yeah,
my big issues with the Catholic Church was because I think that it put man above God. Like, you needed these people that were supposedly appointed by God to be able to absolve you of your sins. And I'm like, but that's not necessary.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
understand issues with the Catholic Church. I just, as long as Protestants, I've had issues. Uh, she, Boo tells me I don't know what I'm doing. Don't laugh at me. I'm like, I'm not laughing at you. I want you to come back. But anyways,
we're laughing with you.
huh?
No, so we're not laughing at her. We're laughing with her.
Exactly. We're laughing with her. Trying to get her. Let me
I say we all have
invite her.
technical
My
difficulties, so
my
Yeah, it's
my
probably a technical difficulty.
my
So
favorite saying: "We're not laughing at you, just in your general direction."
towards
Just in your
towards you.
general direction. We're laughing towards you. Oh my god.
That's
But
good.
my thing is with Catholicism, like people, I've had Protestants tell me like, "Oh, you worship Mary." It's like, "No, I don't. I think she's, the mother of God and that's very important and that kind of thing, but I don't worship her." So like I
Wait,
think it goes on
up
both sides. Like
until
there's definitely misconceptions.
up until fairly recently, like I actually kind of thought it was a little bit of idolatry going on as well with the saints, with Mary, like they're kind of deified in a way. But then, like I had so many people explain, like, well, if you ask the members of your church to pray for you, like that's all we're doing too. So that
Yeah,
kind of made that make
exactly.
more sense. But as far as like the Pope goes and everything, like, look, I'm sorry, there's no man on earth that is above Jesus. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they try to justify it in the Bible. There's no call for that biblically.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I make fun of the Catholic Church, and um, I'm more so focused on making fun of the secular public school system because I think they have way more of a issue than people let on.
They actually do. There was a study done. The Western
Oh
Journal
yeah.
posted it that sex abuse in public schools is 100 times greater than that in any kind of established church.
Well, it's
And
not
you
just
mentioned
Yeah.
it's not
that.
just I'm sorry, but it's not just sex abuse. It's it's falling out of line of what their mindset is. What their catechisms are. If you fall out of line of the secular establishment, you are no longer in their little religion, and
Well, that's what I've always the
it's
left.
worse than Catholicism.
Most leftists that I've encountered, all claim to be like atheists or, well, probably more atheists and agnostic. But, they always say that they don't believe in any of this and everything. But what they've substituted it with is a form of religion. And if you go against that, you are the heretic. Like, you are the witch that needs to be burned at
Yeah.
the stake.
You
Yeah.
have to realize
I mean,
something I had to learn when it comes to, by the way, just throwing this out there, excommunication. Excommunication actually doesn't mean you're kicked out of the church. By the way, I read that my Catholic mom, as I call her, Agnes and Bullock, she
Yeah.
sent me a book like on myths of the Catholic Church and things. Excommunication actually doesn't mean you're kicked out of the church. What? And I'm not
Isn't
saying
it just like you're
excommunication is okay.
denied? You're not kicked
You're
out, but
denied.
isn't it
You're
that you're
denied like
denied
sacraments.
communion? Yeah, you can't take
You're
communion.
denied sacraments, but basically what it means, like you're denied communion and stuff like that. But it's basically a warning, like, hey, you need to get back on the right path, kind of thing. Like it's not, you know, it
Because
doesn't
see,
mean
I've
you're no
always
longer
wondered,
Catholic.
everything I was ever taught, like even in history books and everything, excommunication meant that you were like, it almost think of it like the Amish, like if you're shunned, you know, like you're
Yeah,
done, you're out, that's it. But from what I've
it
gathered, like over the years, it seems to be more that you're denied communion, which is a huge deal because that is like the most ultimate holy sacrament you can take.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I mean,
that
it's a huge deal to be excommunicated, but it's not like you're kicked out. So I'm trying to invite Buddhist kids. Come on, I swear it's got to be like the rain and stuff here, like the bad weather.
Oh, y'all got bad weather down there?
Yeah, we got bad weather.
It's just disrespectfully hot and muggy here. But Sofa, go ahead and talk.
Uh,
Yes,
Yes,
we can hear you,
ma'am.
Yay!
Jackie.
Finally!
Hello.
Yay!
Hi,
Hi.
this
fine.
is Boo, everybody. Quick introduction. We have Laura. You heard of her? Wonderful person.
Yeah,
She,
she's
talked to.
awesome. She's a great friend to
Um,
you.
Oh, thank you.
yes, and then we have Greg, who I don't really know, but he's a friend of Laura's, I think.
Okay, nice to
Yes,
meet you.
he is amazing. Y'all will love him, so definitely look into him.
Uh-huh.
Sophia, he's another Flores, I think. Brass, he's a pretty big guy. He loves to joke around. Jack, you know him well. You know Rick very well. You've heard from Rick, of course, and then the last two are followers again of Laura. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the quick introduction that I could give.
Yes, I know Rick. Hello.
Yeah, Steven just joined in, so hey, Steven. But Sofa's had his hand up for a minute, so let's go to Sofa real quick.
Yeah, Sofa.
All right. So
for some reason, Sophia.
so as somebody that is excommunicated, my family was a well-established family in the Pittsburgh community. We got excommunicated. My great grandfather had a pharmacy in Pittsburgh. Excommunication means if you're a Catholic, you cannot interact with anybody that has been excommunicated, or you yourself can be also excommunicated.
So it is
So
that doesn't sound
being shunned then.
So
okay.
so my family had to sell the pharmacy. I mean, they had a great pharmacy and everything. It was great, and they were an upstanding pillar of community. They had to close up shop, and we had to move up to Western Massachusetts, where we had extended family up there, and basically restart our lives. And it's uh, it's when you are basically like I think it was Zelda that said you are shunned. You are, because nobody in the Catholic Church of the Catholic faith can interact with you, or else they will get excommunicated.
That's ridiculous. If that's true, that is insanely ridiculous, and I don't support that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it goes back to my issues with the authority that the higher ups in the Catholic Church, you know, your cardinals and what the ranks are and everything, up to the Pope, like they're kind of, you have to follow their kind of rules, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've got my issues, but it's hard to explain in just like a few seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm with you, Laura. There's nobody above Jesus Christ. He's the one that died and forgave us for our sins. So
yeah, no man can.
Right.
The whole thing about when he died, like the temple cloth being ripped down the middle, that was very symbolic of that barrier between just us regular humans and God being
Right.
like, we don't need a priest to absolve us of our sins. We can go directly to the guy himself, you know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I totally agree.
it's the whole worship me in your closet and I will reward you publicly.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, I feel.
where's
Go ahead, Zelda.
Rebel? Where's Rebel?
Oh, he is somewhere over there by the suitcase. I think. No, there he is. Anyway, but yeah,
she forgot where she was
yeah,
going.
I am. I'm old. Yeah. Well, today I got told I looked like I was 31, so that made me feel good.
I mean, she looks younger than she actually is, but she and a lot of women in my family think they look really old, and I'm like, y'all need to chill. Y'all do not look old.
I still get shocked. I'm turning 37 on Thursday, and I still get shocked by people asking me if I'm under 30.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, take the compliment.
Oh no, I do. Like I'm close.
I do.
Laura,
I'm short, so I like it. Tell me I look younger, but I'm okay. They'll ask me for my.
You look like you're in your 80s. You look like you're in your 80s, boo.
Oh, you really?
Oh, God.
Okay,
yes.
you're not allowed to back at my house.
Laura, here's a question though: do you still get carded?
I do all the time.
I do.
I got carded one time going to a rated R movie, and I'm like, come on, I at least look 18, right?
Oh my!
Like, I was shocked at that one. Like, I was actually kind of offended. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm closing in on 40, guys. Like, come on.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just turned 49 Saturday.
Yeah, she turned 49 on Saturday. She's really old. Don't worry
Well,
about it.
happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
yeah, I was just wondering because I mean I'm 27 and I get carded like only half the time now.
Wait, you're only a year older than me? Holy crap! I didn't know that.
Yeah, y'all are babies.
Yes,
We're babies. Yeah.
Yeah,
they are babies.
I'm either a young millennial or a old Gen Z. I'm not sure which because
You're
the charts
cool,
aren't
Gen Z.
consistent.
You, since you're younger than me, I'm an elder millennial, but I've been adopted by Gen X. So
Yeah, same here. I'm adopted by Gen
I
X.
officially now identify as Gen X. So, because I don't like the millennials, I do not like my generation.
Listen, I identify as 5'5", so none of you can call me short anymore.
That would still put you shorter than me by 2 inches, though. So I can still call you short.
Ended.
I'll still stick you on the fridge.
But you're shorter than I am.
Hey, I like my shortness. Nobody's ever complained about it, baby.
Hey, if I get an outdoor fridge, then I have a fridge to put you both on top of. So
You might have to have a crane to get me, babe.
oh, I swear to God, Boo, you are gonna fit in great with my family.
I'm,
She's like my second mom. She's where I get a lot of my crazy from.
what? You was born that way. Don't tell me that. Don't tell them that. You get it from your
Okay,
mom.
you're where I get most of my crazy from. Is that better?
Your daddy and your mama.
Now, did you ever tell her? 'Cause I don't know where my crazy comes from. Like, I knew Jeffrey Dahmer's address by the time I was 9 years old, and that did not come from either of my parents.
Oh wow.
She's really into horror and like goth or like horror and true crime and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
she knows.
Oh Laura, we gonna be good friends because I do too. I love me some.
Okay, you
Oh no, you
love the
think you know
podcast.
true crime, Boo? You think you know true crime? She has a whole podcast where she talks about like Jeffrey Dahmer and all these different criminals and the gory details.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Say,
I'm with them.
we did
It
on the podcast. We did the Henner Kafek murders for the first episode. That was Germany. Then I think we went to Jeffrey Dahmer for the second episode. Robert Pickton. Then last couple of weeks ago, we did that book Anatomy of Evil by Dr. Michael Stone. We did that one, and now for my birthday one on Saturday, I'm doing Daniel LaPlante, which was the one that I was telling y'all about earlier, the frogging thing. That is the creepiest shit you will ever hear, and I'm breaking my no cussing rule to say that because that's the only way I can describe it.
and then Boo, I'll be on the next time after that. I'll be on there. I'll have to send you the link through Twitter. I'll be on there debating nature versus nurture and that kind of thing, so you'll
Okay,
get to hear me again.
that one actually will be way less formatted than you were on before because it'll just be more of a discussion than an actual debate.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, a discussion more like.
but yeah, the Daniel LaPlante, like if y'all don't know anything about him, let me just tell you that this was a teenage boy that kind of lived in the walls of this family's house who had lost their mother. And after terrifying the family and then moved out, Dad goes back to get some, supplies and everything and sees the boy up in the window wearing his dead wife's clothes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that as like a little teaser for that episode, but it is messed up.
Yeah,
Did
Boo. Boo's not really into politics, but Laura does on KLRN, the radio that Rick does. Boo, she does.
Any
She
other
does
killers that
the.
you can think of for the foreseeable future that you'd like to cover?
Oh my God, I've got like a running list right now of people that we really want to cover. Like Daniel's favorite is H.H. Holmes, And there's a tie-in there with Jack the Ripper that we could talk about. So that's going to be a whole big thing.
I've actually recommended a couple of people to Laura before. Like, there's this one woman that she, like, her body count in terms of killing is like 600 men.
Oh wow.
There was this lady in New Orleans, I can't think of her name, back during the slave owning days, where she basically abused her slaves and, like, I think she, like, set her
What about
house
Ed
on
Gein?
fire or something. Huh?
Marie Laveau?
Yeah, I think that's who it is, maybe.
No, I said Ed Gein.
Oh, no. Ed Gein, yeah, he's definitely on the list. Because I kind of want to tie that in. Same with Ted Bundy and everything for those iconic movies like Silence of the
Oh
Lambs.
yes, yes.
Because
Yeah, her podcast.
Buffalo Bill was very tightly based on Ed Gein, a combination of Ed Gein and Ted Bundy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Boo,
as was
her
Norman
podcast is
Bates was also
every
based
other
off Ed Gein
Saturday. Every
directly, I
other
think.
Saturday, starting at 9 our time, right? 9 our
No,
time, Laura.
8 o'clock to 10 o'clock our time.
Yeah, so she delves into true crime and all that kind of stuff. So you'd
Okay.
love it.
And I just followed Boo because we have it set up now to where it will stream live on my Twitter.
Okay.
Sweet.
And you can drop comments. We'll see it on the screen and everything. So we can take questions, any kind of commentary, all that kind of stuff.
All right. Sounds good.
I I told you, Laura, also about an idea about you guys could do Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde would be a good one because that does bring
Oh
up the
yeah.
larger argument of romanticizing these types of
Right.
people, which is
Yeah,
Because
a
Bonnie
big
and Clyde
thing.
have become they've somehow become synonymous with Bonnie and Clyde have somehow become synonymous with like Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, and it's like no, they were killers and bad people.
Yeah,
Okay, something's going on here because I can't quite hear some of the people who are speaking.
but I
I
think we
know.
kind of take breaks between speakers. So
Yeah, I think my phone's messing up again. Can you hear me?
It might be the user, Boo. It might be the user.
All right, now I can.
I'm with AT&T. How is the user? I'm on my internet.
because
I
you
am
guys are
too, but
old.
you know.
You know what?
Zelda
You bet.
sometimes cuts out worse than anybody else that
Yes,
I've noticed.
yes. Look, Zelda, you're not old enough, too old to get your butt whooped. Keep on.
It sounds like somebody's getting a lot of crosstalk on their connection. So if you mute when you're not actually talking, we could probably hear everybody else talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you mute. How you mute is you click the mic again, and it will like say mic is muted or whatever. Mic is off.
Okay, let me try it.
She's learning.
There we go. Because it's sometimes with your connection, you'll get some crosstalk from party lines and so forth, and it it is
See how the
strange.
mic when I click like I hit the mic, it'll show a red mic with the slash through it. That's what you're trying to do, Boo.
Oh, hey, we've got Storm listening in. I've actually never gotten to speak to him, even though I follow him and everything. So, hello, Storm.
Hello. Oh, yeah, there he is. He's still here.
yeah. And I have suggested Bonnie and Clyde because how romanticized they are, and how they are. People fail to realize that they actually are serial killers.
Well, I think they were. I think they would more technically be classified as spree murders because there was a very short amount of time between kills, but they were all done in different locations. There was really no
Well, they
cooling off period per se.
well, I mean, they did specifically target a lot of police officers.
Yeah, no, I mean that's still a thing. Like they were outlaws. That's kind of what they're known for, and outlaws are very romanticized. But
Yeah,
I do
they
think that
killed.
they would classify more as spree murderers rather than serial killers.
Yeah,
Could be.
Aren't that
other.
so? That's not the
It's
same
spring.
thing.
No, there's three classifications. You've got mass murderers, which is like your mass shooter. Um, that's three or more victims in one location. Spree
And
murders, there it's almost like mass murder, but it's in different locations, like in a very like short amount of time with no
Oh,
off
okay.
period. A serial killer, they're going to do their killings, then wait a while, that kind of builds up again, and then they kill again, and they have a very specific target in mind usually.
What about the Murdoch
Well,
Okay.
murders? What about
The
the Murdoch
Murdaugh,
murders?
yeah, the Murdaugh murders would be a good one to cover because I mean you got the wealthy family and everything there, and
Right.
yeah,
so yeah, they're on my list too to cover.
well,
what's
Laura, regarding Bonnie and Clyde, though, was killing their main objective, or was that merely incidental?
I think that the killings were actually incidental to what they were trying to do, which was basically just to get money.
well,
Yeah, because
there.
they were bank robbers more than
Yeah.
anything.
Well, it's sort of a yes and no situation because yes, on one hand, they were bank robbing and stealing from people, and so naturally that would put them at the odds of the police officers, which they would shoot at them. But there's also the other element that Clyde, he had an avid hatred for police officers
Yeah, I mean, he was a
because,
career criminal and everything since like childhood, basically.
well, yeah, and the more thing is like he had an immense hatred for police officers because he was apparently abused in prison or whatever, and so he naturally had a hatred for them. So that's I think why many people do say that, like, while there is an incidental element to it, they also say it is possible that he targeted some of them.
And that's very possible. I mean, we won't ever, there's really no interviews or anything with him that we can look back on to figure that out. Like, he never explained why he was doing anything. So all we have is just kind of the basic facts of the case, which they were
Al
killing the
Capone.
cops.
Al Capone wasn't a murderer, was he?
He was never convicted of
Yeah,
murder.
Oh,
Convicted
okay.
of he was convicted of fraud.
Okay, that's what I thought.
there's a
Well,
lot of
tax it.
people that,
Well,
like David Parker
yes.
Ray, was never actually convicted of any murders. He was convicted of kidnapping, rape, and torture, and he died.
Oof.
Yeah, no, that one's going to be like later on down the line because that's to me the worst one and the one that I have the most trouble talking about. Like if y'all listened to the podcast last time where we actually mentioned him, he had what he called like an orientation tape that he would play for these women where he described in great detail exactly what he was going to be doing to them. So not only are these women, do they like wake up in this modified trailer in the worst position of their lives, like they are chained to like this gynecological table basically. They cannot get out, they've been kidnapped, they don't know where they are, and now they're listening to this voice in just a very conversational tone, like we're talking right now, like telling them exactly what they're going to experience.
Yeah. What
And
about
That's
John?
like
What's
some.
I
That's like
like.
some Saw
yeah,
or
this,
some
I
whatever
mean,
that movie is
I,
kind of thing.
I
this
like to
was
see.
not
I like
only
to talk
physical
about the
torture.
John Wayne Casey. Gacy.
Yeah,
John Wayne.
Yeah, John
um
Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
I know we've mentioned him a couple of times. We did mention him the last time too, because
Hmm.
in Dr. Michael Stone's book, he has like a 22 levels of evil, basically, where like level one is the least severe. That's your self defense, your justifiable homicide.
Right.
Level 22 is the worst one. That's your sadistic torture murders, where torture is part
Yeah.
of it for the killer. And Dr. Michael Stone actually says that Gacy is his number 22.
Oh wow.
Like it's an absolutely fascinating book. If anybody, like we mentioned it before, um, it is a lot more like analytical and clinical than like say Anne Rule stuff or any other true crime books that you get. But he presents it in such a way that you can still understand it and comprehend what he's saying.
Have you read Anne Rule's book on Ted Bundy?
The Stranger Beside Me, yeah, I've got it back there on my
Yes.
bookshelf. Like he was,
Oh, of course you do.
they were
You know what's
friends. I mean, they went to Christmas parties and everything together. Like, and she even talks
Exactly.
about
Like
in the
when she
book,
found
like,
out what he did, she got sick.
yeah, she says that was one of the hardest books for her to ever write because it was so hard for her to comprehend that somebody that she considered a friend who would never do anything to hurt other people, that this is what he
yeah,
did. She said, I didn't even know if I should write this book.
yeah. And what's funny, a thing like when it goes to Bonnie and Clyde, a thing that people always leave out in the movies and in the stories is that part of the reason that Clyde was attracted to Bonnie was because she was one of the few women that was so short that it could make him look tall.
I didn't know that. Like usually they pick their you get the Moors murdered. Like usually
Well, I mean,
they pick a woman as an accomplice because one, she's easier to control, and two, like they actually are better at kind of luring the victims. You know, kind of their
yeah,
defenses down and everything. So
Right, again, back to I forget who it was. Their point was the murders were almost incidental. Yes, they murder. Clyde was mm, mm, likely focusing on killing cops, but their primary objective was to rob the banks.
yeah. So, I mean, my point was more so discussing that is that, I mean, what we can always, like, my point was more so that Clyde had, like, a vendetta against cops because he didn't like, what, so, yes, on one hand, you can make the good argument it was all incidental to the bank robbing, but a lot of times they could have ran away without shooting
well,
anyone.
at that point, it's
Hold on one
like,
second, one second. Before we continue this, I just want to make sure, Boo, do you have anything you have to do?
Um, yeah, let me go. I need to go take care of my husband.
Okay, and then you can come back once you're done with that, okay?
All
yeah,
right. How long does it last?
we'll go until we're
It lasts
tired.
for a while. Like we're on for a while.
Okay. Okay.
Daniel is actually on his way home from work, so if he feels up to it, my husband, you may get to actually kind of quote unquote meet him too. So
Oh, okay. My husband's name is Daniel
Love you,
also.
Boo.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we joke about is I have an aunt that has your name and then I have her husband is named Daniel, so
All
As,
right.
Yeah,
Well, it was
as long as you don't have an aunt named Daniel, it's good.
Well,
yeah.
never can tell.
right. Okay. Well, it's good talking to y'all.
good
Yeah,
talking
we'll
to
see
you
you in a
too.
little
Yeah.
bit, Boo. I love you.
I love you too,
Take
my
care.
baby. Bye
Bye.
Mhm.
bye.
Well, what's funny about with the Clyde, like what I was saying about, they never they never go over that the part where a reason why Clyde and was attracted to Bonnie was because she was really short, and Clyde was very short.
So
Um,
Napoleon complex thing going on and was trying to make himself feel better about himself.
yeah, because Bonnie was 4'11",
They
he was 5'4".
They never, in everything that I've ever seen, and I'm not a big follower of stuff like this, but in everything that I've ever seen, they've never brought up the diminutive stature of Clyde.
I think
So,
I've heard stuff like that too, but again, without really any interviews with either Bonnie or Clyde, it's all speculation. I mean, it's fun to talk about. I mean,
um,
obviously,
Well, there's letters and stuff
and it
that
does
he wrote that was about it.
it does follow because, like, look at ACDC. They would only pick new band members who were shorter than them because they were ridiculously short. So it does kind of follow that, Clyde would pick a girlfriend that was shorter than him.
Well, you've got to think.
I mean,
This is the guy that's got.
my boyfriend Rick. To be fair, my boyfriend Rick is like 5'9" or something. So maybe I picked him because he's shorter than most men. So I mean, just saying.
Well, he also
Yeah, so
doesn't
Okay, go
have
ahead.
this
Sorry, I
kind
had to
of.
throw that joke out.
He also doesn't have this pathology where like he feels the need to overcompensate for anything. Like, and that's what you get, especially with somebody like Clyde. You're going to see him because he's, probably got that short man syndrome or what they call the Napoleon complex. He's kind
yeah,
of trying to compensate for that with this violent, like macho appearance, like, oh, well, I have the ability to take life and everything, so I'm larger than life, basically.
yeah. What people don't also realize is that technically, I mean, they were also adulterers because they weren't. People always get the idea that they were married. They actually
Yeah,
weren't.
no.
They Bonnie was actually married to another man who was also in prison.
So she had a type
So,
for sure.
oh yeah, she did.
She liked them bad boys, I guess.
I can fix
Yeah,
him.
nothing sexier than a guy that's been in prison or that's
You want to know
killing
something a
people.
little ironic?
What is it?
And
Uh,
what's funny is like what another thing that gets me about the case is that like some of the violence could have been stopped if they had kept because what they got caught in a bank like a botched bank robbery and you know what and people will say that women were historically oppressed back then and people realize like you know what their entire reason for letting her go was
Because she was a woman.
yeah they said no way that a woman could hang around
But there,
such degenerate
but
people.
there was that trope for so long and everything. That's why women statistically don't get the death penalty, even though I think they deserve it.
Yeah, in many cases they
That's
do.
like
Like
shows like
that one.
that's like shows like Gunsmoke. You see, like the women are always portrayed as like innocent
hey,
damsels in
okay.
distress that never,
I
you
think one
know.
of you mentioned the Napoleon complex.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you want to know something a bit ironic about the whole thing?
What?
Is that for Napoleon's time, he was roughly about the average size of a regular Frenchman.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
that is
heard
a funny
about
thing.
that. Hi,
What
baby.
was funny about that is like the reason why they got that is because they mistranslated the heights. So it made him look like he was like I don't know 4 or 5 inches shorter than he actually was, and they just used it.
But
The
like,
people that did it like just made fun of him, even though he was technically average height.
Is it possible that that was English propaganda or something?
I think it was that, and like they, I think first it just started out as a mistranslation, and then they just ran with it as propaganda.
I mean, hey, I'm all
say
for British
Rick was in
propaganda
the Rick
against the
was in
French,
the
so I'm a little biased.
Rick was in our DM saying that he's gonna stop pimping YouTube because he was talking about
Laura,
us, and I'm like, what?
I can't barely make out what you're saying. You're rubber banding really bad.
No, I'm muted. Sorry, Daniel just got home.
I wonder why there ain't no dang supper made.
Hi, Daniel. How are you doing?
Hi, Daniel.
Hey, y'all.
That was Steven, the Zelda.
Who are we talking to today?
That's
The Goon Squad.
Mr.Brass. Storm, I follow him. I followed him forever. He's awesome. Rick's in here, but I think he's dealing with like supper and.
That's cool. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi, Viking Santa.
There's a Tiny Tyrant's in here too, but
Hi,
that's
Tiny Tyrant.
she's kind of looking at us like we're all crazy. So.
Hey, TT. Hope you're doing good.
Little
Yeah,
TT. Or
Baby.
middle TT
Keep kicking
because he's
ass
no
in school,
longer
by the
little.
way.
Do you want to say hey? Because everybody's very excited.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
It's her like you said she has a birthday coming up too, don't you?
Yeah, just about almost exactly a month after mine. Because I'm July 11th, she's August 9th.
Oh, I'm August 11th.
Ah, so you are exactly a month after me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to make sure. I remember I made an art for her last year for her birthday. I'll have to see about making something this year.
Yeah, the Tiny Tyrant. You remember that glittery font and everything that you liked? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that was like that had her name in the Barbie font.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have that saved. So
Yeah, I had so much fun making that for her. I definitely will do something like that again.
I say I'm only muting my mic and everything because Daniel's getting his supper and everything ready.
What? Wait, what are y'all having? This is an important question.
What's he having for
It's
dinner?
it's leftovers tonight, so I made spaghetti. So
Wait, it's leftovers, but you made spaghetti.
now, yeah, because I made spaghetti what 2 days ago, and I never know how much
Okay,
pasta and everything to
is
make. So like,
Okay.
is
Well,
it leftover?
define the type of
Is it left?
define the type of, define the type of spaghetti though. Are we talking spaghetti with meatballs, meat sauce,
no,
Alfredo sauce?
it's a
What is it?
meat sauce, and I never know how much to cook. Like
Well,
I don't know how to cook for 3 people.
and,
So yeah,
and
next time I make spaghetti, if you and like 87 of your friends want to come eat, like I got you covered.
well, also define how are you reheating it? Are you reheating it in a microwave, or are you putting it in a fry pan with butter?
I think he's just using the microwave
Oh my
right now.
God, the best. Throw it in a fry pan with butter, and it is the best experience, best spaghetti experience you will ever have. Left,
Well, see,
leftover.
And
with
very likely one of the last too.
The people,
I only ever make enough pasta noodles like for that night.
people,
So if
people that did not live before the invention of the microwave don't understand the beauty of the fry pan spaghetti with butter. It is awesome.
but see, are you talking about the sauce itself?
Yeah,
Because I usually
yeah, you
we cook it just enough pasta for like whatever we're gonna eat that moment.
Yeah, you throw the spaghetti and the sauce because usually in my house you have so on the first night it's spaghetti and then you put the pasta over it, but then all the leftover you mix the sauce in with the spaghetti and that's the leftover, and then
Okay.
for leftovers when you go to reheat it, I mean, some of the people in the house they use the microwave, but me, I will put it. I will, you know, take a couple of
But see,
take a couple
the
of.
pasta, I can see the
Uh,
butter for the pasta.
I
But
will
usually,
take a couple of pads of butter, throw it in the fry pan, and then throw the spaghetti and sauce into the fry pan, and it is
okay,
so much better than the night before. It,
okay, yeah, he's saying we're gonna try that next time.
Yeah, I've been I've been
Yeah,
eating better than I used to in the past.
It's an
I've told I've
important.
told Laura about it before. How I weighed almost 400 pounds at one time.
This is
really.
an important question. This is an important question, Laura. Do you make alcohol the way you make food, where it's like you don't know how to make for a few people?
Yeah,
Like
no,
you,
the way I was raised and the way I was taught to cook, like it's just me and Daniel and the tyrant in the house. I do not know how to cook for just 3 of us.
that sounds like when I cook soup. I uh, I I will cook a corn chowder. I cook a chipotle corn chowder, and I have to find people to just give random Tupperware full of soup because I made so goddamn much that it's too much
That
for us.
actually, that actually sounds really good.
beef stew is my
Stuff like cool
favorite.
with the
Beef
blasphemy.
stew or broccoli and cheddar.
Ooh, I make eating beef stew.
I love beef stew. Yeah. I remember I've told Laura how I used to weigh like 400 pounds at one time. I was 375. That was my highest I've ever weighed.
Dang.
And I went down to, currently I'm around 270.
That's
So I
good.
lost, so I lost like 100 pounds. And yeah, I mean, because if you want to get a hint at what my diet was like before, you know those bottles of soda that you get from those, I think it's like the 2 liter sodas that you get from the store.
Yeah.
Um, I used to go through like 4 or 5 of those a week.
Yeah, I mean, I keep them on hand because Daniel usually likes a Coke Zero or something with his meal or either my tea. But yeah, I mean, that'll still last him. Like I buy usually about 2 at a time.
Yeah.
When I got
But last.
when I got divorced from my wife, I was 245 pounds, and I was sitting up in I refinished our attic, and I was sitting up there on the computer drinking Smittix. It's a apple cider, and eating entire long sleeves of Ritz crackers, and I got to like almost 250 pounds, and
Mm.
I was like, okay, and my buddy that knew me a couple years before came to my house, and I answered the door, and he he asked for me, and I answered the door, and I was like, dude, it's me. He's like, no way. What? And he didn't recognize me so because I was so fat. And and so when I was getting divorced from my wife, I moved in with him, crashed on his couch for a while, and I started mountain biking and stuff like that. And honest to God, I dropped 85 pounds just by
Oh wow.
just by mountain biking and not being in that unhealthy relationship with my
Right.
previous wife.
Yeah,
If
that'll
you
do
hear
it.
if
Can
you
I?
guys hear a loud whirring in the background when I speak, that's my AC, just to let you know. So
Okay. I was actually going to make 2 points. Like, one, first off, we went from like serial killers and Bonnie and Clyde now to food and weight and everything. And somebody apparently, does somebody have a bird?
No.
That,
Like, I kept hearing chirping.
That
oh, that's what.
that might be me because I have barn swallows that go nuts when my if my mic is open, you might hear the barn swallows because
I say, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm hearing the chirping as you talk. So,
Speaking of how we went from serial killers to food, I really am kind of in the mood for some fava beans with a nice Chianti.
I've
That's
never liked fava beans. I've never liked fava beans.
I don't think I've ever tried them.
And
I was speaking in the context of having what the census takers live on.
and so uh
Simmer down there, Hannibal.
Glad someone got the
we've
reference.
got a Hannibal in the chat. We've got a Hannibal in the chat.
and you guys know what the difference is between garbanzo beans and chickpeas are, right?
Not a clue.
They're basically the same thing, but I've never had a garbanzo bean on my face.
Oh my God. That took me a second.
So what was I gonna say? So yeah, Dave that was just in the chat. Um, she was
Hang on, you're
talking.
cutting
She said
out.
only question
I can't even hear
number eight.
Zelda.
Can you hear me now,
Yeah,
y'all?
you're clear now.
Okay. Well,
I can't hear her.
do you remember Farkle Darkle, the person that was just in the chat? She
Dave,
says
yeah.
Yeah, she
I'm gonna
said
try
only.
leaving and coming back in because she's not coming through on my end.
Hmm,
I'm
um,
I'm hearing her fine now. When she started, she
can
was
y'all hear
rubber
me now?
banding. Yes, I can hear you now.
Um,
I
I
think
still
yeah,
can't.
she was.
I think Steven's the only one hearing you.
Yeah, but she
Do
was
you guys?
only Russian operative.
All
She
right,
said
hey,
only
I'll be right
Russian
back.
operatives. She said only Russian operatives get upset. Russian operatives. I said, like, calling you a pedophile, using your anger as proof that you're a pedophile. She said, first of all, she responds to your text by saying, like, it basically doesn't make her mad or whatever. And then she said, this is the problem. So many people live their lives by what someone online thinks. If they aren't actually in your life, why does it matter what they say? Or why does what they say matter? Like, that could also apply to you.
Ze-
Yeah, all these
Ze-
trolls and everything, basically projection. Like anything that they say can be turned around completely logically back on them.
Zelda,
It's like the opposite of Miranda rights.
Well, that's what the trolls are. They usually are leftist Democrats. So
Zelda.
Either
I
that or they're of the cult of Nick Fuentes.
oh my
Okay,
god, they are
somebody, yeah,
worse.
they are insane. But somebody was calling my name. Who was
Yeah,
calling my name?
that was me. Pick another co-host, drop out and come back in. With two co-hosts, you're given a better chance to come back before the space gets dropped.
I'm not dropping the space. I've already recorded so much of it, and
I
you
I
know,
think
No,
though that there is
no,
time limit.
I'm not saying drop the space. I'm saying that we you are dropping in and out that I can't. I half the time I'm having a hard time hearing you. If you have two co-hosts instead of just one, you can drop out and get back in with a better chance of not dropping the space.
hmm, I'll consider it because
Okay.
I don't know. I like how much I've recorded and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, and I think it's mainly just your Wi-Fi because you do cut out quite a lot.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
my. I'm using my. I don't have Wi-Fi on my phone. I've got it. Let me see if I can connect to my Wi-Fi from my computer. Like use the Wi-Fi and connect and stuff like that. But let me see if I can do that.
But that is a pro tip. If you have a space, if you have a co-host, you can drop out and drop back in and come back in with a chance. If you have two co-hosts, you have a better chance of coming back in before the space drops.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna come back. I just need to go myself so I can, because my phone's going dead. So I'm gonna try to switch out with another microphone.
Okay, you do that, Brass.
All right.
And y'all can absolutely repost the space if we want more people participants. I reposted and liked.
We will return to your regular broadcasting after this Zelda gets her bullshit fixed.
So I just reposted you.
Yeah, she
So
always.
let's
That's why so many people enter.
we
Is because Is because of
we've covered
Laura.
like crazy. We've covered like crazy ants and family, uh, serial killers,
Food.
food.
Food. I feel like that would be a good like. We talk about serial killers, food, crazy family,
Religion.
Oh yeah, we did
religion.
talk about religion. Yeah.
Let's see.
I still wish that Babe was in the chat and everything because I invited her to speak and she never would come explain like how the Handmaid's Tale is happening or how I'm a Russian because I'm pretty sure I don't sound like a Russian.
Yeah, I can attest that
I
unless
mean, she.
Unless Russians speak with drawls, I think you're not a Russian.
But say, and you've actually been to our home before, so
Yes, I can attest. You are real, as is your entire family.
Okay, wait. Let me connect to the Wi-Fi real quick through my phone.
My it is now dinner time at my house, so I have to drop. I will be back
Okay.
if I see you guys still on.
okay. Well, it was good talking to
All
you.
right. It was nice seeing you, my ass rising Navy equipment.
See ya. Okay. I think the Wi-Fi.
I say you're cutting out real bad again. I don't know if it's competing or what.
I just joined the Wi-Fi, so
Okay.
Okay, well you're clear. You're much clearer now.
okay, yeah. I was about to say it shouldn't be cutting out because I just joined the Wi-Fi, so
Yeah, you sounded like a robot for a second.
beep boop, beep boop. I'm actually a Russian robot.
Beep boop. Abortion is good. Beep boop.
Yeah, literally that.
I swear, like it's insane how many people actually truly believe that The Handmaid's Tale is just over the horizon right
You
now.
know, it's kind of amazing how, in many ways,
They
well,
want it.
hang on, if I could say this, it's amazing how abortion has kind of become like the new slavery issue in a way, in the sense
Yeah,
that originally people accepted slavery as basically like something that was not capable of being gotten rid of at the time, and that was a necessary evil, if anything. But then later on, you have more ardent defenders saying, "Oh no, it's a positive good, both for the master and for the slave."
Yeah, that was I can't remember his
John C.
name.
Calhoun.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, I know he said that that it was a positive good. And I mean, there had always been people that had that sort of view, but he made it like more of a point to have his voice out there with that.
well, back in the day, like I know when abortion was still something like nobody ever talked about. It was supposed to be done in secret because it was a shameful thing. It was usually because, like, okay, one, either a woman or a girl had been hurt by someone and, couldn't deal with the stigma of being pregnant and unwed, or like a woman had an affair and got pregnant or something. Like, it was always kept in the shadows.
Yeah, it never had the level of societal approval. But
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's just like, okay, you've had a few too many margaritas at the bar or something, and you pick up that guy that's bought them for you. Okay, well, y'all just accidentally created a baby, so no, yeah, just kill it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, that's really
Like that's insane
it
to
is
me.
really insane. It's really disrespectful to life as well.
yeah, but I'm just saying with respect to the arguments supporting it, there were some who were saying, "Oh yeah, well it's tragic, but just keep it safe, keep it legal, and keep it rare." But now you have some who are saying, "Oh no, it's a very positive thing. There's no shame in it whatsoever."
Yeah, the shout your abortion and all that kind of stuff, and they
Remember?
don't they don't want any limitations on it whatsoever. So rare went out the
Yes,
window.
Do you remember the chick that did like a comedy special on abortion or whatever? Like Michelle something or whatever. Like she did a
Uh,
whole comedy special.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But I say we don't really watch women comics because frankly they're just honestly not funny.
Yeah.
No, there is that Eliza, however you say her name, the blonde
I
one.
mean,
She's really funny, but
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean,
yeah, that's what Daniel's saying. I don't think y'all can hear him, but most female comics they go very, very vulgar and think that's funny, and it's just not funny. It's not
yeah,
enjoyable.
that's
Yeah.
Amy Schumer in a nutshell.
Yeah,
It's like every other joke
exactly.
is a sex
Like,
joke. And
oh
it's
my
not funny.
god, she made a penis joke. Like, how shocking.
I mean, our penis is no longer shocking. I mean, come on, Laura.
Well, I mean, I
Well,
mean,
I
it's
mean,
not shocking to you, Zelda, because you get the DMs.
Oh,
oh my god, that guy.
Ah,
I was actually going through and like deleting screenshots and stuff, and I came across that one today, and I was like, well, I hadn't heard from him in a few days, so I guess he gave up and went on to somebody
Oh,
else.
Laura, remember that one time where a guy sent you a dick pic and then you reposted it and he's like, take it down, take it down.
Oh,
That's the guy we're talking about. Yes.
yes, he did that. No, he originally sent it to me. He didn't send it to
Oh my
Laura.
Yeah.
gosh.
I got the screenshot from her and reposted it because he said like he was calling me a whore and a slut, saying don't let that slut repost my picture. But now I actually think that he might have been an exhibitionist and he was doing that to get us to post
Oh
it.
my gosh. Wow.
He acted like,
So
well, somebody reported me or something happened because I got my account. Like, I had to take down the post that I had because it was reported as like, showing private information. And it's like, well,
hey, some people have a humiliation king, baby. Like I need to go just sit over there by him. I'm in my chair and he's over there on the couch, but I don't think y'all can hear him.
I heard that at least.
I think they heard that.
Hey, Laura.
we're talking about you, Daniel. We're saying all kinds of stuff.
Hello
Are you
there,
guys talking
Joaquin.
about Big Boy?
Hey,
Hey, how
Joaquin.
you guys doing? Were you talking about Big Boy or about whatever the hell his name is?
Yeah, big boy, bad boy, whatever he changed his name to every time.
Big Bussy.
He was not a big boy at all.
Nah, he was not. No.
No, he was a big boy, just not in the way that he wanted to be.
Yeah, and he sent me that DM, and I posted it, and he must have blocked my account, or must have reported my account because I had to take down the. And I'm
I
like,
don't know if any of y'all were around the last dick pic that I got,
Oh
but
my
it was this
god.
boy that he had actually photoshopped his own dick. Make it like
are
as
you
long
kidding
as it
me?
to make it as long like down to his knees, but he did not give it any girth whatsoever. Like this thing was like a pencil.
Oh
Oh my
gosh.
god, that's so funny.
And I was like, dude, you
Kyle,
really just send me this thinking this was a flex? Like if you're gonna Photoshop it, like add some meat to it. Like, come on.
Dude, now I want to see it.
Make it a third arm at least.
So
I
basically,
mean, come
what
on.
you're saying is instead of packing gun lead, this had pencil lead.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you could have at least made yourself look like a baby elephant or something, but you didn't even go that far. Like, you just made it longer. Like, that's all you did.
Yeah. If anything, it's Pinocchio.
I mean, I swear, that was the funniest thing. And he was like, why are you posting this? I swear it's not Photoshopped. I'm like, honey, it is obviously Photoshopped. Well, yeah, a professional, at least, or at least a medical professional and not a professional in the other way.
He ate the wrong kind of candy and some sort of weird, really.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
Okay, I'm coming over here. You need to say that again because it's way funnier coming from you.
I said like he had to eat some sort of weird candy and some perverted Willy Wonka bastard.
Oh my god.
No,
I married this man on purpose.
actually, that reminds me of this episode of Two and a Half Men where what's his face? John Cryer's son accidentally took some he took some pills and he said, "Oh, I took some medicine." And he's like, "I don't have any medicine." "Yeah, you do. The blue pills with a V on them."
Oh my god.
Oh no.
So he's hiding in the bathroom. The wife goes, "What does that mean?" And Charlie's mate goes, "It means he's going to need another party hat."
Oh,
Good
that's
god. Well, guys, I know I said we were gonna go on for a while, but I'm thinking about taking a nap because I'm old. So.
All right.
Well, Zelda, here's the question: do you plan on praying the rosary beforehand?
I don't know. I'm considering it.
I say we might have to after this one.
Yeah.
All right. It was good to talk to you guys.
All right.
Likewise.
All right, good, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Deuces.